we're gonna do a 30-minute meal. Start with the rice. Even though many of you all know how to cook rice, a lot of people don't know how to make fluffy rice. And so we'll start with rice. And I rinse it until basically it gets clear. We got the potatoes cut up. If you notice, they're not too big, they're not too small. I cut all different sizes. I don't like to try to keep it uniform. Just cut any kind of way, because after all, we're trying to boil them. Okay, we don't want to waste time trying to do that, especially in 30 minutes. The whole meal never takes over 30 to probably 35 minutes, depending on how tender you want your potatoes, but 30 is the max for me. Okay, put some water in there. Don't put no salt. Don't try to make a stock. You just want to boil some potatoes, because remember, you're cooking vegetables with them. Hold on. Okay, now the rice has been cooking for 10 minutes. You want to take it. Be careful, but you want to rinse that. Usually I rinse it on cold water, always cold water, and I rinse it for about a good 5 minutes. Sometimes I let the water set in there for a minute. Grab something here to stir it around so it doesn't get sticky there, so it actually rinses all of the rice, and still, if you notice, it's still got that starchy look to it. I like sticky rice, but only when the meal calls for it. There's things I do eat where the rice is really, really tender and not so fluffy, more sticky. But this is not the meal for it, so. And that's got a lot of starch in there, so this is be one of those moments that I will leave it running, and don't have it running too high, for about 5 or less minutes till it starts getting clearer. And we'll leave that. Right, now you've got it rinsed, it's actually clear. This is the time that you can take, wipe that off, and put salt. Potatoes boiling on one, I have to put that one on that one. Turn it on high. You don't want plain rice. Some people do. I sometimes eat it plain. Just sprinkle a little bit of salt. We don't need salt no more. The rest of the meal does not call for it, but rice needs to have some kind of seasoning or salt to it. And now we got the potatoes boiling. They'll boil about another 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and we'll start now with the vegetables. Part where it's time. Now we've gotten to the part where you see the rice is nice, it's fluffy. It's time to get that all out of there. This is when I go ahead and take the whole thing and get it all ready. I don't rinse it again. I just want to drain it. I don't want to rinse again. It's been rinsed enough. If you see the uniform on it is very fluffy, don't cover it. You take it, pour it back in the pot. It's going to still have the fluffiness there. Very nice and fluffed. Don't cover. If you leave it like that, when you get ready to put your vegetables or the next day to refry it, it's going to be fantastic, like eating Chinese. The potatoes are ready. They have to be rinsed. Now you're going to do that like that. Put that out the way for a minute. You don't have to rinse them but a minute, because you're not trying to, they're already done. And now I'll start cutting up all the vegetables, and I'll be back. The rice only took you 20 minutes total. 10 minutes the first time, another 10. Now we have the potatoes that took 10 minutes. Cut up all the vegetables, should take you about 5. You can cut them small, you can cut them big. I like them small when it's going inside of any kind of bakes or any kind of other mixes that I'm making, so I cut them up small, and it only took me 5 minutes. I counts every moment of my time. Rinse everything good. You're gonna put it right on in there with the potatoes. Okay. Now I always put an extra can of corn. You take that, rinse that off. Actually, I can take that out to rinse it a little. Pour that right on in there. Mixed vegetables. Doesn't matter what kind. I use Great Value, as you see, Walmart. Sometimes I do Aldi. Sometimes I do Save-A-Lot. I go wherever the sale is. They all taste the same to me as long as you put your seasonings in there. There you go. It all depends on how big of a family you're cooking for, but we love broccoli, so I'll use half of this for the meal because we have enough of everything else. And we'll rinse those good. I like fresh. You can use fresh, you can use frozen. At this time, with us being basically confined to home, can't hardly find too much when you go out anyway. These are all frozen except the can of corn. Okay. Let that rinse a little bit longer. Then that's ready to go in the pot. There, remember, whatever vegetables you like, but today we use broccoli, half a big bag of broccoli, 1 can of corn, and a bag of mixed vegetables. And look how much it made, quite a bit. That's enough. We'll take that. Don't put too much water because you're not really boiling this. You're just basically gonna use it and steam it for about 10 minutes. Everything is 10 minutes today except the rice took 20. Even the fish will only take you 10 minutes. Now we're gonna put all the seasonings in there. I always use the olive oil. You can use whatever oil you like. This is just a little bit. I use a lot of grapeseed oil, as you see, but just use just a little bit. You don't need much. It makes the vegetables softer. A little bit of pepper because you got garlic in there, and garlic's, when you're boiling, actually puts heat to everything, so don't put too much black pepper in there. A little bit of complete seasoning. You don't want to over season the vegetables, just enough. Has onion in there already. Again, vegetables take heat very fast. It's not like cooking that corned beef the other day or the meatballs, so that's it. Just a couple of sprinkles of that. Don't need any parsley. And a little bit of adobo. And that may not seem like it was much seasoning, but with vegetables, that was more than enough. Let that cook 5 minutes, because you already cooked the potatoes. About 5 minutes, cover it up. What did I do with my top? Cover that. Let that cook for about a good 5-10 minutes. That will be done. This is done. You only need it 10 minutes unless you like really tender broccoli, and I don't. So therefore 10 minutes is good enough for me. Actually it was 7, and that's good enough. Pour that in there. Make sure there's no kind of liquids or anything, because you just wanted everything to get that seasoning, everything to get tender. And you know, frozen vegetables already get tender fast. Put that back in there. Hot. Everything is in there that you need. You got your seasoning, you got all your vegetables. Now what we'll do is cheddar cheese it. Cut you half a thing of cheddar cheese. I freezes my cheese, so mine's crumble very, very fast. I don't have to worry about shredded cheese like some people. You see how quick that broke up? Take that, half, it can be a little bit more than half. Put it and crumble it up in there. Because I freeze, again, my cheese, it crumbles fast. And so I don't have to buy shredded cheese. But if you're using shredded cheese, that's fine. This is the way it's gonna look. Of it. We have a lemon. I had a pretty big size lemon. You try to make sure you get as many seeds out. Sometimes you just can't get the seeds out without getting all the juice. You're gonna squeeze a whole half a lemon. See here? Whole half. I mean, get it good. If you have to open it up. And then some of the seeds you can see is coming on there. You can get them off later. It had absolutely no water or anything, but with the lemon, it looks like I put water in here. That's good. That means it's a good thing. For this, I'm using grapeseed oil. You can use all of your kind. I'm allergic to a lot of things, so grapeseed oil works for me. I do usually around and about. I'm done. That's as much as you need to cook this meal. Then we have the lemon pepper. How much? I'm gonna start trying to figure that out, but that's enough. The rest of this lemon, before I even put the other seasonings, I cut up, try to get the seeds out. Sometimes I have to cut in between to make sure. Leave the peel if you can, because the peeling helps to really put that lemon flavor in it. It really gives it more flavor with that lemon peeling in there. There goes some more seeds. And this was a really juicy lemon. Okay, so you end up with 4 pieces of lemon. Already did the lemon pepper. Please be careful with, unless you want it almost tasting like jalapenos in there. You just want just a little bit of that in there. Now, you saw me using onions for most of everything. This time you're gonna use minced onion, because nobody hardly that I know wants a big piece of onion on their fish. So, get that. Okay, this is minced onion. Let me stop faking, because I usually don't do that. I usually sprinkle it like that. Okay, that's going to really put that flavor in there. Then you want the big part of the complete seasoning. Again, you don't want to overwhelm anything, because you already got seasoned vegetables with cheese. You have plain white rice that had a little salt added to it. Don't overwhelm. Add after you finish cooking. You don't want to, it's easier to add salt than it is to take it away. There you go. This barely has salt, so I always kind of get heavy-handed a little bit. This is where the parsley, you didn't see me cooking with parsley. I had too many green vegetables in there to cook with parsley. Now you put your little parsley in there. I take my hand, mix that all up. Kind of straighten it back out. Turn the lemons downward. Turn 1 or 2 of them upward, so that the skin from the lemon can kind of cook in there with it. This cooks in 10 minutes. Flip it over in 5, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. And start every once in a while. Within those 10 minutes, because that's all you cooking the fish for is 10 minutes, you turn it over. Make sure you turn the lemon over also. That way that flavor is cooking through there. You can see the lemons are starting to cook. It doesn't matter which way you turn them now, because the flavor is getting in there. Okay? Now you see it ends up frying itself down. All the juices are gone. They all in the meat. You can cover that up. Wait till you get ready to eat. Everything took exactly 31 minutes.